Another confession to make. So the next job for me, now that's fixed, is having a quick look at the carburetor. Now apparently this bowl comes off. Now they do say you're supposed to be able to see daylight through it, which, I don't know if you can see that, there's a bit of daylight through there, look. So we're going to have that cleaning with a bit of wire. That looks a bit better. Somebody suggested blowing down the fuel tube with your mouth. So I tried that and nothing happened. Is it because the fuel is off? Turn the fuel on. No, that don't work neither. The whole fuel inlet system is this thing here. I'm just wondering whether to take that off. It's a bit gooey in there, isn't it? It's a bit better. So there's a tiny little hole up inside this thing. I've just cleaned that out, but it doesn't go in very far. I'm going to try blowing on the fuel pipe, see if we have fuel now. No, fuel pipe's not blocked. Going to endeavour to put this all back together again. Pop in a bit of fresh fuel, see what happens. This chewed up bolt here, look, you see that? I actually managed to undo it. So it would appear I've been trying to blow down that fuel tube with the fuel turned off, so no wonder I couldn't blow any air through. And I've just poured some fuel down the pipe with a spoon in the hope that it'll fill that little bottom chamber up and I can get something of a spark. I just don't know yet. Wow, it ran. Yes, that's awesome. Right, let's get a fuel tank on. To want to run without fuel down the carb. It says to me, I don't think fuel's getting through. Right, I think the next job on this one is take off the carburetor completely and have a good clean around that, because I don't think the fuel's getting through somehow. That's the choke lever. This is where the fuel switch is. This lever thing that spins on that. Anyway, there's some sort of rubbery grommety thing inside, and that was in there on those pegs things, those. And then, so this is the fuel in, and then that hole just there was completely blocked solid with some silty gunk. So when you blow in that, nothing happens, nothing comes up. So I think we had a fuel supply problem. If that's not the problem, then at least it will help the problem. In that, because when I took the carburetor off, I took this float bowl off and it was empty. There was nothing inside it. But this that little mini bowl, that little one there, that was full up with fuel. So fuel was getting in, but albeit very slowly. And I just don't think then the fuel was going into the float bowl assembly. So I'm just going to give this a little bit more of a clean inside there. The fuel's meant to go into this bowl chamber here, and then down there's a tiny little hole just at the side there. that travels along that tube there into this float chamber here, and that's where the float is then. So that float hangs down, and when this is full, it pushes the valve to stop any more fuel coming in and flooding the engine. Which is super simple until something blocks up. So give me a minute. The other thing I've just done was just took the jet out again, and there's another like long tube that you can pull out, put a piece of wire in and hoik that out, and that's got little air holes in all the way around it. So I've just given that a clean, but actually it didn't appear to be dirty at all, so I just wanted to make sure that was clean. Get some fuel in there, and then if I crank that, it should almost act like a bleed valve. Oh yeah, look at that. I thought I'd give you a quick update of where we're at. So the other night, I put the carburetor back on, popped a little bit of fuel down the top to get it going, and we had ignition. So it did run for quite a while actually. But what I found was the throttle, this throttle here, made no difference to the engine revs. So the only way you could adjust it is via this contraption here, and I just noticed that spring's come out, but it was this contraption here, so that's the only way you can adjust it. Push that forward one way, and when you pulled it, I think, all the way this way, it killed the engine and sort of starved it of its fuel. So I did some research, and apparently it's all down to the governor. This big lever on the top, this one, the throttle lever that the throttle cable's attached to, that has a spring down there that pulls on the governor rod, and that governor rod then operates the throttle body. Only I think somehow my governor has almost seized. The governor alters the engine revs when under load. Now, because this is the kind of machine that ends up experiencing a lot of loading, I'm going to need that ability for the governor to work. So when it pivots, I think it's sat there for so long it just stopped pivoting properly. We will give that a wiggle. Let's see if we can get something working. That's the governor, and when you open the throttle, cable goes in just through there, pulls on that, so that's, oops a daisy, watch your eyes, that is fully open throttle, which means that so something should make it return to that point, but it isn't. Now I'm wondering if it's this shaft down here. It's got seized in this shaft because it's been stood so long. We're in. Perfect. Look, we've never used to do that before. So something is definitely freed up, which means we are going to put the fuel tank back on. I'm excited. This is an adapter plate to get it back on the two-wheel tractor, so I'm just going to fit this back on, and then I think we are ready for the two-wheeler stage. This is like a cone shape adapter, so that the cone clutch can fit on. Thanks for watching so far. The next episode will be me stripping some of the old rusty old bits off the two-wheel tractor. So if you're able to, why not have a go yourself? That's my motto.